We're Bison! We are Impacted! We're Bison! We're ready to get up! We want to win! Light the fire of power that make us free! We never break down! We want to win! We are Impacted! The best team!
Hello and welcome back to TNI-UK Impacted, coming to you live via the Total Nonstop Impact Network on YouTube and Twitch. I'm your host Bison, and today I'm joined by the one and only, coming in from the void, Joker, and of course, the man simply known as Steve. Hello chaps, how we doing?
We're all good, thank you. How are you?
Good. Yes, I'm well, man. I'm well. I just want to say a quick hello to our first time listener live, I believe. Tom Wiggle there. Nice to see you, my friend. Thank you for joining us live in the chat. We do appreciate. Donald's in the house. Keith Goldman's in the house. I think I saw Courtney in there as well. Mir's here. Oh my goodness me. Look at that. Happy birthday, Simply Steve.
Yeah, belated happy birthday to Simply Steve.
Thank you very much.
Bobby Petito is in the house, which is good to see as well. I believe Violet is in the house.
Yes,
I think she was the first in.
She was.
First in. He's not messing about. She was waiting, mate. She was waiting. So that was fantastic. So great to see you guys joining us in the house. Don't forget to say hello when you pop in the chat, and don't forget, we love to hear your opinions on everything that we're talking about tonight or today, if you're in the States.
Hakeem's in here. Welcome, mate.
Oh, Hakeem's in as well. Oh my goodness me, everyone's getting involved today.
Yeah.
It must be the lure of somebody special guest turning up.
Something pretty hardcore, definitely.
Do you think that's what it is? Do you think it could be that they, that
Oh.
we've got a potential special guest?
Hardcore Country!
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Who knows? Maybe it is. Maybe it's Mickey James. Maybe Mickey James is in the house. Who knows?
Maybe everyone's just been inspired from after last week.
Maybe.
I know Caleb has.
Caleb's definitely inspired, that's for sure. Is Sammy in the house? I need to know, Joe. Is Sammy the mass dog? Is he in the house?
He is. He's down here.
Is he? Oh, there he is. There he is. Oh, he's having a bit of a kip. Is he all right? He looks dead.
He's
Is
asleep.
he still alive? Oh,
Yeah,
he's
he's all right.
I thought he was like, tongue hanging out the lot.
Oh, no.
Look at him. Bless him. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Beautiful Sammy. Beautiful Sammy.
There we go.
Anyway, there you go. And you are, Violet. You're right. You are here every single week. Critical Sting's in the house. Yeah, which is awesome. I can assure you, Critical Sting, Aldis would never be on Impacted because I've got to be honest with you, mate. I'd rather watch paint dry. And I would not. Exactly, and I would not put you through watching paint dry on an episode of Impacted. I just really wouldn't. So it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, Ted is here. Ted's in the house as well. Hang on, there you go. There's Ted. Let's make sure we get a good view of Ted. How about that? So, can I just say thank you for those that have just wished me, or just said that they enjoyed the Tasha Steele's interview that I popped out yesterday. Absolutely wonderful girl, really nice lady. And if you haven't seen that, get over onto the Total Nonstop Impact Network and go and check it out because it's a great interview. So yeah, make sure you do that. So yes. Oh, special guest Swoggle. Yeah, do you know what? I never thought about getting Swoggle on, but yeah, you put something in my brain there. That might be interesting. Maybe I should pop a little message over to the wee man, and see if we can get him on.
I look like a young boy to you.
No, exactly. Do you know, the one I've always wanted to get on, I've tried so hard. I even sent an email to his agent, right? Is Grado. I've been trying to get Grado trying to get Grado, but I've actually tried to get Grado on the show pretty much from the start. And bearing in mind that we're now into episode 67 and we go pretty much every single week, I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen.
Is it Odark? Because he's also owes my money?
Owes my money?
Look, motherfucker. I'm here to challenge your special guest. I want to know who your guest is. Fucking tell me now. Tell me now, motherfucker. I'm not even in my space. I'm in my
ass.
That's where you are. That's where you are, brother.
Fuck you, Bison. This is war. Who is it?
You're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Have to wait and see. Hey, he's coming. He
Okay.
is coming.
Oh,
But
it's a he.
you know it's a he. That's for
Okay,
sure.
it's he. Got it. All
It's
right.
a he.
Okay.
No, I to be honest with you, I thought it would have been a bit too bad if I'd managed to get Ty on the show.
Oh, damn. We feel so lucky.
I
Look, I haven't figured out how to fight back yet. I really don't know where this retaliation
There
is.
is absolutely garbage in here.
Joe and Steve, no beef. Bison, motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's coming. Trust me. Somehow.
all I do, son of a bitch, is just send emails and messages. It's just that simple.
Same.
It is
same.
that simple. I
Hey,
don't
Courtney.
mess about. I just send them out. But
Well,
and you know what? Go on.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm not here to interrupt for long. I just wanted to pop in, give you some shit. I'm going to pop out, get back to work. But you guys have a fantastic show. And I'm probably going to be on tomorrow night, maybe. I'm hoping. So, maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right.
Okay.
Cheers, guys.
Take care, buddy. There you go. There's your special guest, guys. Mark's on the show, everyone.
Yes.
Wow,
We
there
got-
you go. What a fantastic guest, eh? What a
No
fantastic-
surrender match booked.
No
Oh,
surrender.
yeah.
Yeah, match booked. We could have it maybe a bullwhip match. What do you reckon? Or
it's got to be something really, really beefy.
what's the word? The cowbell on a rope match. What about that one? Maybe. Or I tell you what if we were to put in rings in our noses, right, and then attach a rope to each of our noses, and then we have to
Oh, yeah. The first person to pull the ring out the other guy's nose wins.
There you go. Perfect. Perfect.
That's just sadism in a much more entertaining stick scale. Maybe like early ECW days.
Definitely. I'd just like to say thank you to Keith there. I think we've had a couple of super stickers come in, and I don't
Yeah,
want to miss them. So,
one from Violet too.
oh yeah, Violet's popped one in. Obviously, Keith just popped one in as well. Keith, if there's any specific soundbite that you want us to pop out in there, then just let us know. I know there's one that Anna likes, but we've just done it already, haven't we? Have we done the
No.
Anna one already?
No, we haven't.
Well, come on. Let's sort Anna out with her
Who
soundbite.
booked
It's
this
your
shit,
favourite
guys?
one. That's it. Exactly. Come on. Who did book this shit? Probably Mark. It's probably Mark. that booked this shit.
Mark's caused a huge flushed in the system, so everything's all a bit.
It's all
up in the
Mark's
air.
fault.
No, it's not.
There we go. There we go. Who booked this shit? Anyway, so right, what's going on there? Tasha, shout out me out. There you go. Courtney, thank you so much, sweetheart. We appreciate it. You always are so kind and gracious and nice to us. So I really appreciate it. We all do. We all appreciate it, don't we, boys?
Yes, we do.
We
She's fighting sleep to watch this at the moment. So
Exactly.
For reals.
The thing is that we just threw that one out there for Mark.
Yes.
No, the thing is, guys, we're doing a bit of small talk because we are just waiting for our special guest to arrive. So we thought we'd do a little bit of small talk.
Yeah.
He's definitely on his way. So I'll tell you what we'll do.
Crack on.
We'll crack on. Let's talk about a couple of our bits and bobs. And then as soon as our guest arrives, we will bring him in. All right. So, okay. So let's get talking. Let's have a look. See what I've got first on my list. Now, I was really impressed to see, obviously, the Gorillas of Destiny arrive on Impact Wrestling and gunning for the Good Brothers tag titles. They are definitely I mean, let's put it this way. They're going to put bums in seats. I'm pretty sure of that. and Tama Tonga look flipping amazing. So I'm really, really looking forward to where all of this goes. What were your thoughts on Guerrillas of Destiny, Joe?
I had no idea they were Impact Wrestling before. Reading the comments from Impact Wrestling on Twitter, they apparently were in Impact or TNA ages ago. But I was so excited to see them come across from New Japan Pro Wrestling with Jay White. It was like this. It needed to happen with the Good Brothers in Impact Wrestling. It needed to happen, especially. And when Jay White came over last year, part of me was thinking, could we see the Guerrillas of Destiny come over sometime next year? And my God, I don't believe it actually came. It's actually happening. And
I can't either.
If we get this tag team match at No Surrender, oh God, the Good Brothers not having a match at Hard to Kill was worth waiting to see this. As much as I'd love to have seen Rich Swann or Willie Mack or Heath and Rhino go for the titles, this would have been well worth waiting for this to come.
Yeah. What about you? What about you, Steve? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'll echo Joe on this. It is great to see. I mean, the Guerrillas of Destiny in Impact Wrestling finally, and to see the change in Tangaloa since he previously left Impact to what he's become now. The transformation is night and day, and good for him.
Critical Stage Sport after he was in the Rising with Eli Drake and Dream.
Yeah.
I knew I recognized him.
Mika.
I knew I recognized him. I thought it was Shearer, but
you wouldn't recognize him. That's the thing. He's a completely different character, and you look back now at the Rising, and you wouldn't believe that was him.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe it was Eli Drake either.
No.
It's just incredible. I just think that the things that are going on now, the doors that are being opened, the talents that are starting to appear on Impact Wrestling is just fantastic. And the bottom line is, we can say that you've got to build your stars and blah blah blah. Yes, we have got to build those stars, and I'm proud of the way Impact Wrestling build those stars. But you've also got to have talents that put bums in seats. You cannot rely on just homegrown talent.
And you've got to have talents that those stars that you're building can go over as well.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And it's great to have talents like that because they help the younger talents pave the way too. That's what you need because they can watch these guys and see how they get over with the crowd, and and they can start to learn from them as well. So that these are the things you need this kind of stuff. But again, not only did we have, obviously, the Guerrillas of Destiny turn up, we also had Jay White, the leader of the Bullet Club. So, now we've not only got G.O.D, we've got Jay White, we've also obviously got Chris Bay. I mean, are we going to see Phantasmo as well turn up in the coming weeks, or even Hikuleo? Who knows? Like, at the end of the day, all these guys have appeared over the past, over the past couple of months. We've had them all. So could we eventually get every single member of the Bullet Club turn up on Impact? What do you think?
The only one we haven't seen is Taji Ishimori, and I would love him to come up before we see Hikuleo or El Phantasmo again. And that's really hard to say because El Phantasmo was absolutely incredible. But I'd love to see Taji Ishimori come up first if he can.
Yeah, the Bone Soldier would be pretty amazing. Now, guys, before we go any further, without any further ado, our special guest has arrived. So without further ado, I would like to welcome the one, the only Mr. Permfection himself, Sam Beale.
What's up, guys? What is up?
Here he is, the legend himself, and he's in his car because
I am, yeah.
He was in his. He's been doing errands. Have you been doing errands for your mum today?
Not my mom, but yeah, I had to do some errands. We're gonna have like Snowmageddon where I'm from. It's like calling for like 15 inches in the next couple days, so I had to go do some errands running around before I had to do some other stuff. But,
oh man,
I'm glad to be here.
Good man, good man. Well, we did talk about this a little while ago, didn't we, Sam? Because, obviously at the time you were still contracted to Impact at that moment. We were all very sad to see that you've obviously come off the Impact roster page, because we were all very much invested in you, and we thought that you were a really great addition to the sort of kind of the young up and coming members of the roster. Now. Am I thinking that this might not be the last that we've seen of Mr. Permfection on Impact Wrestling? He's maybe just gone for a little while, or
You never know, man. Like there's endless possibilities when it comes to professional wrestling. It does. It's sad that I have to step away from there for a little bit, but the world may never know. We'll see. We'll see what happens down the road.
Well, we hope to see you again. Now, I do know that you're heavily invested in obviously a university at the moment. What I wanted to ask you, because what is it that you're because we never really got into it online, but what are you actually what are the subjects that you're taking at the moment?
So I actually have had a heck of a career at my University of Toledo. I started when I graduated high school in 2016, going into the education programs. I kind of started that and thought that was my end goal in college, because my sister was going to be a teacher and she's an inspiration to me and all time. And I planned on going to be a teacher just like her. Some things happened and I figured out that it wasn't the right path for me. And then I decided, because I've taken some electives along the way in the form of communication, and I really fell in love with that major from taking those electives. And I decided to switch over to communications, not only because I wanted to learn how to talk to people and figure out why people communicate the way that they do, but I also figured out it would help me in the long run of what I really want to do in professional wrestling, or just entertaining entertaining people in general. So
you're very entertaining, Sam. There is no doubt about that. We all of us here at TNI-UK find you extremely entertaining. We were a little bit gutted when obviously Sam when Brian cut you from the tree. We were all a little bit because we felt that actually since you've gone, the learning tree's gone downhill. They needed you. I mean, do you know what, Sam? For weeks, I was taking notes. For weeks, I was taking notes on other people. I'd go on to TNI, the US show, and I sit there taking notes on Trent and J-Bone. Trying to make myself a much better podcast host.
You took notes to Mark for sure.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, I don't learn nothing from Mark. Good Lord. He needs to. I think he needs to learn from me, that Mark. But there you go.
Hey, I tried to tell Zicky and VSK early on, you got to get a notebook, man. You got to keep notes. If you want to be an all-star student like me, you got to go get a notebook and write them down. Yeah.
Exactly. I love it. But we're absolutely, so excited, because I know that you haven't actually been wrestling very long, have you?
No, I think it'll be technically 5 years this June. I started out of high school, kind of took a year off. But yeah, I started 2016. That was when my first kind of training per se happened, and I did some matches around the local area where I was at. It wasn't until 2 years ago that I joined Skull and Bones here in Toledo. And that's where it all started to take off. I got under the wing of Trey Miguel, and he taught me and showed me a lot of what I know today. And I got in the car with him, and we hit the ground running. And now I'm here, just keep trying to carve my own legacy.
Exactly, and what a fantastic talent to learn from as well. I mean, Trey Miguel is awesome.
Dude, he is without a doubt. In my eyes, I mean, it might be biased or it just might be the truth. He is the best wrestler going today, and I don't think you can say anything differently. At least to me. I don't know.
I'm not going to disagree with you. Trey is an incredible wrestler, and you know
Very underrated.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that certain individuals were a little bit butthurt when he made the decision not to go, and you know where the other two rascals went. I think there was an individual that definitely got his ginormous nose turned out of joint a little bit when he made the comments about individuals potentially not having the passion needed. You know, there is no doubt about Trey's passion and dedication. He's just also a well-grounded person.
Absolutely.
And knows that there are other things in life that are just as important as signing with the biggest wrestling promotion in the world. I'm not going to deny it. I don't watch it. I hate it. I find it extremely boring. Hence why I'm more of an Impact Wrestling man. But I can understand if you are a budding professional wrestler why your ambition would be to be part of the biggest wrestling promotion in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be nuts not to look at it that way, even if it wasn't your style. Like, to get that chance, that opportunity is huge. Things in his life weren't working out, so he went a different path. And since he's come back, he's proved exactly how good he is. So I agree with you. I totally 100% agree with you. He's one of my favorites on the Impact roster. Now, Sam, here's the thing. Obviously, you're concentrating a lot on your education at the moment, which is fantastic because we all need these things to fall back on, because we all know wrestling is not necessarily, doesn't necessarily have longevity. It can do, but it doesn't, necessarily. If you get injured early on or whatever, then you're screwed, aren't you? So it's always a good plan to have something to back up. But from what you're saying, your long-term goal is to continue in professional wrestling and be a top star.
Absolutely. I'm a big fan of documentaries, and I remember actually that's how I got into the business. Is I was a fan of wrestling all throughout high school. Like, I would skip going to parties and drinking to go hang out with my buddies and play with action figures and play GM mode and all this stuff about wrestling. And one day at work, I was actually watching the Seth Rollins Redesign, Rebuild, Reclaim documentary, and from that point forward, I was like, dang, this is what I want to do. And I want to be the best in the world at it. Like, I want people to know where Rossford, Ohio is, like they know where West Newbury, Massachusetts is, if that makes sense. I want to be a household name. I want to be the best that there is, and I won't stop until I am, or I like whatever my maximum potential is. I'm going to work as hard as I possibly can to get to that point.
Well, I know that Scott D'Amore has said that you are certainly one to watch for the future, and if you can't get much better an endorsement than that from the coach himself, can you?
Absolutely not. When I saw that article and his quote about that, it struck me. I was like so thankful for it, but at the same time, it motivated me so much more. Like, I'm not going to not get there. If that, I just contradicted myself, but like, I'm going to make it happen.
Definitely, and I don't blame you. I really, really don't blame you. And you know what's interesting? I love the fact that you're also quite open on the socials as well. Like, this was me 6 years ago or whatever with your girlfriend at a football game, and people are like, "My God, it's like a totally different guy." And you do. You've proper transformed physically as well, haven't you?
Yeah. See, I'm a big believer in, like, everything that we've done, like, shapes us to who we are today. And I don't want to look back at the old me and be like, what the heck, who is that guy? No, I want to show that old me off, because that's where I was, and I am now here to where I am today because of that guy. He saw something and he figured to conquer it, and now I'm here. Now I'm still doing the same thing, though. Like, I'm figuring out my own issues to this day, and I'm going to make myself better in the future. Each day is like a new day to get better.
Exactly. And does it help having an extremely supportive girlfriend, because she seems to be very supportive of everything that you do?
Absolutely. She's always behind me 100% of the time. Like, it's it's unbelievable. Like she's come with me on the road. She's come to almost any and every like show that's local to come watch me. She's even made the trip down to the Impact tapings to watch when we were down in Nashville, which was incredible. I am so thankful for her. I don't think I would be able to do what I'm doing without her. And my dad always told me, because my grandpa used to be a very famous race car driver around here in Toledo, Ohio, and like the Midwest area. And my dad said that his grandpa always, or his dad, which would be my grandpa, always told him behind every great champion is an even better woman. And I can't say anything nicer than that about her.
I agree. Mrs. Bison is definitely my rock. I can assure you of that. She supports me in everything I do, and you know, even if sometimes she moans like, "Oh, for God's sake, you're doing that again" or whatever, but she gets it. She understands, and she does support me 110%. Anything I do, you know, no matter what it is. And we do the same. I do the same for her as well. But she has her things that she wants to do. You know, she does her dance school and all this kind of stuff, and I support that 100%, which is awesome. And I think that is always the thing. A good relationship is built around supporting each other, no matter what it is, even if it's not your thing. You just do, you know, you support it no matter what. So I think that's lovely to hear. That's really, really lovely to hear. Guys, have you got anything that you want to ask Sam now we've got him?
Well, and you
Have I covered everything, Joe?
I think you've covered pretty much everything, but I want to say Sammy Callahan's a big name in the industry. What was your first impression? I think when you found out reaction when you found out, oh God, I'm working with this guy. What was going through your mind? Because he seems intimidating on screen, but I know backstage he's a lot more laid back. So what was your opinion on Sammy Callahan?
At first, I was super nervous because Sammy's done it all and everything like he's ever like he's just done it all, you know. So like having that big of a name being one of your first interactions on like a TV program, it was nerve-wracking, of course. But the best thing about Sammy is that he's such a great down-to-earth human being. So he takes care of you and he makes sure that you feel comfortable and that he believes in you just as much as you believe in him. And it's an awesome camaraderie. And Sammy and I have become really good friends since like the time on Impact, and it's something I'm very thankful for.
Fantastic. What about you, Steve?
Yeah, mine was a little bit similar in the fact of what was it like working with Brian Myers, because you seem to have instant chemistry there.
It was fun. It was. I mean, I can't thank him enough. Like because there was actually so much learning that I got to do under his like learning tree. Seriously, like being able to pick the mind and just kind of watch what he does in and outside of the ring and how he molds himself. He really did awesome for me, and I can't thank him enough. It's something I'll cherish forever. Being able to do that.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
man, that's so awesome.
The chat gave you a couple of questions as well.
What have we got? What have we got?
Yeah, I think was it Bobby's asked who would be your dream opponent? I guess in everywhere.
So my dream opponent would probably be my favorite wrestler of all time, and that's Dolph Ziggler. I want to wrestle him one day, and that when that happens, like that'll be amazing. I guess like I really want to wrestle Chris Bay. Chris Bay he's phenomenal, and me and him have actually like grown to be like really close best friends over my time at Impact, and I would love to share the ring with him and just learn from him. I've already learned a lot about life from him. Now I want to learn about wrestling from him. So Chris Bay is definitely up there. And I'd love to wrestle Jake something as well. Jake's an incredible athlete. He just does it all. Like he's one of the biggest big mans, but he can also wrestle and be like he's a little guy. It's incredible the way he's so flexible and can just do it all. He's literally a walking bag of money.
There you go.
Yeah.
What's that one?
Did Trey help with your entrance at all?
So I would say that he did. Obviously, he had an influence on a lot of everything that I do in my character. I with my entrance, the finger smell, people got it wrong. They thought it was not the right thing. What I did was I'd fluff my hair, right? I'm fluffing the party back there, and then I'm smelling my perm product and I'm throwing it.
Yeah.
And people thought I was meaning it in a different way. I just can't believe that was it. Trey definitely helped me with that. He told me like, "Hey, you should definitely do this. This is a good like funny thing to do." And he helped me pick that up. But with the double shades, that's kind of something that like is just kind of I found because I first originally bought a the blue set of glasses, and it was incredible. We stopped at a stop shop along the road. I think it was to Pennsylvania, and I saw the same pair of shades that I bought, but in orange. It was like perfect timing, and my colors at the time were blue and orange. So I was like, dude, I got 2 glasses now. This is incredible. I love this. And I went back to our training school, and I like was wearing both of them. So, but you couldn't see my blue one, or you couldn't see my.
Oh no!
No.
Oh, you're still there,
we got
Sam?
you back.
Everybody there?
Yeah, we got you.
We got you
Yeah,
back.
okay.
Got you back.
Okay. So what I was saying was I put my orange ones underneath my blue ones, and I was showing one of my other trainers. His name's Justin, or CK3, and I ripped him off, and he thought it was the funniest thing ever. And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome! I could definitely do that at my entrance." So yeah, it's kind of a little bit of me just kind of feeling it out there and just being who I am, like turned to 1,000, and a little bit of everybody else. You know, they've all influenced me that at Skull and Bones. It's been like a real family there. It's nice.
Oh, that's wonderful. You know, it's really good to hear things like that, because I think it's really important. Now, there's one very important question coming in from Tom Wiggle. He needs to know, are you a Browns or a Bengals fan?
Neither. Absolutely neither. Go Lions, baby. Go
Well, there
Lions.
you go. There you go.
Oh,
He's a Lions fan.
I think that the pen would suggest it too, wouldn't it? Like that
Yeah,
you'd be a Lions guy.
Yeah, it's my Lions main, you know. Funny story about that is this is hilarious. So a couple Halloweens ago, me and my fiance were like deciding what we wanted to be for Halloween, right? And I like we could not think of anything, and like it was like the last day before, it was the day of the party with the costumes. So I was like, look, screw it. Look at my hair. I could be a lion. You could be like a safari person. And she's like, how are we going to do that? And I was like, do you have a brown shirt? And she was like, yeah. So I put a brown shirt on. I got like some short shorts. And then I made a tail out of a sock in my belt. And then like, you know how usually like with the girls, they do the like sexy costumes, right?
Of course.
We put it all together, and like she was not in the sexy costume. I was like, well, one of us has to be the sexy guy or the sexy costume. So I cut holes on my nipples. I'm like, I'm a sexy lion. There's a picture out there somewhere. It's pretty funny. It's good. It's a good one.
Good man. That sounds great. You need to find it. So you need to tag us all in that bad boy. Now I've got one.
I will.
One quick one from Mark, because I believe you're also going to be appearing on the TNI show tomorrow evening, directly after Impact.
I am, yes.
Well,
yes.
Mark has asked if tomorrow night, when you make your TNI appearance, you can do the entire, hair and sniff when you come on. That's what he's asking.
I might just have to. I might have to. Maybe I'll throw the glasses on too.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Make it a special
maybe,
occasion.
Maybe. Hey, I don't know. Maybe I think we got to leave that up for like a mysterious, like you got to show up and watch, and maybe you'll get it, maybe you won't.
Maybe you won't.
Who knows? We'll have to do a curtain entrance as well. Do the whole shebang.
Put a curtain over.
Yeah, just Get a jerry-rigged curtain above my door frame and just enter through my door.
That would be amazing. In full get up. Oh man, that'd be great. In fact, why don't you just wear the shirt with the nipples cut out? That'd be great.
Oh, my lion shirt. Yeah, I could definitely do that.
That would be awesome. Right, okay. I think that's pretty much all we've got. We've got time for today. But I'm so happy we managed to get you on, Sam. You have been one of our favorite up-and-coming stars on the Impact roster for the past sort of 12 months or so. And we wish you all the best. Can you just let us know where we can find you on the socials? Oh, hang on a second. What's this?
Save the lion shirt for the comeback.
Oh yeah, there you go. Fair enough. Yeah, can you just let us know where we can find you on the socials and where could we be maybe seeing you in the future?
So I am on social media. I actually also have started my own podcast with a couple of my buddies. On social media, I'm under Sam Beale 23, and the podcast that I started is called The Little Spoon Snatchers. It's fun. We get into some outrageous topics, and we're like three guys that are just passionate about the dumbest things, and it's pretty fun. So if you guys could check that out, that would be awesome.
That sounds great.
But down the road, man, I'm just gonna keep working hard, keep training, perfecting permfecting my craft in the ring, and just getting my name out there so everybody knows who I am. I'm very, very thankful for my time at Impact. I have nothing but great things to say about everybody over there. And I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better start. I turned one little squash match into 7-8 months of like constant TV time. And I hope there's more of it soon. You never know. But I also want to say thank you to like all of you guys. There was no better feeling than when I would watch a taping or watch like the Impact on Thursday and then seeing everybody comment and talk about me. Like that was incredible for me. I felt the love from everybody, and it was an awesome feeling. And now like hopefully I've turned you guys into lifelong fans, and we could just keep building this Permfection gang going forever, you know?
That'd be fantastic.
Definitely. It would be great. Thanks so much for joining us, Sam.
Yeah.
And we look forward to seeing where your career goes and where it blossoms. Maybe a UK tour. That would be quite cool. Maybe get a UK tour on the go.
Oh, that would be incredible.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I got my passport.
Well, there you go. Maybe so when we get that, get in touch with Gary Ward. Say, come on, I'm planning on coming over for a couple of weeks. Sort me out. He's looking after EY at the moment. So who knows? I know that I think Jake Chris has been speaking to him as well. So there's lots of possibilities there. Why not? You know, it'd be a good opportunity.
Yeah,
we've got some great promotions over here. Wrestle Carnival, Rev Pro. There's some great ones over here. So it would be cool if you just got a week, a couple of weeks in, did a few shows.
I would absolutely love it. Yeah,
that would be awesome. But great to have you on. And we look forward to seeing where you go in the future. The incredible Permfection himself, Sam Beale.
Croc rocking, Nickelback popping, baby. Thank you guys for having me. It was a blast. I'll see you guys down the road.
Take care.
Take care, Sam.
See you.
There you go. How about it?
That was fantastic.
How about that? Look at Joe in the big screen. Right. Okay. Well, there you go, guys. That was your surprise guest. And like I said, I've been speaking to Sam for a little while, and I'm so glad we managed to get him on the show. Don't forget, if you want a little bit more of the Mr. Permfection, he will be on the review show tomorrow after Impact. So go and check that out as well. I'm sure he's got plenty more stories to tell as well. So absolutely superb. I'm absolutely over the moon, and good luck to Sam in the future. Don't forget to go and follow him on Facebook on Twitter if you've not already, and go check out his podcast. So all sounds very, very good. Sounds really, really good. So Mark is shaking his fist at me right now, but there you go, mate. There you go. So it's all good.
You're going to have to jump on tomorrow now, just to give a little payback for Mark's entrance earlier.
Well, we're gonna have to wait and see, aren't we?
Yeah,
we're gonna have to wait and see.
Maybe you could come on with your shirt with the nipples exposed. No,
maybe, or maybe I could put a little cut here and then just come on and rip it off and go.
He wants to.
Oh baby,
oh baby.
He wants to be reminded of Hogan when you can be reminded of Sam Beale.
Oh, that's true. Maybe I'll just come on and do this. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, fantastic guest. We wish Sam all the best in the future, and it's a real shame he's gone. But yeah, it should be cool. It should be
for
cool.
now.
I think
for now. For now.
Really
yeah, exactly. So getting back to some of the things that we were talking about earlier, we were actually talking about the arrival of obviously the Gorillas of Destiny. We then talked about Jay White coming with him and who else we could possibly see in the future. But, also we're talking about obviously the fact that the Gorillas of Destiny are coming for the Good Brothers in the tag titles. The Good Brothers clearly want to keep their alliance with Violent by Design to fend off the Bullet Club. What are your thoughts on this sort of kind of alliance that we've now got between the Good Brothers and VBD? Then, Joe, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm waiting for it to blow up. I'm waiting for Eric Young to just say enough's enough and send Joe Doring on Buck Collins and Doc Gallows, because I think Dean is going to be pushed to the side if this goes on for a bit longer. And it's that, or I see Joe Doring jumping ship and then Violent by Design getting disbanded, which is something else I really don't want to see.
Oh crikey, no, nobody wants to see that. No one wants to see that. But I certainly think that maybe this alliance with VBD could backfire. What about you, Steve? What are you thinking?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, I definitely think the long-term plan is Violent by Design will end up with the tag titles. EY is going to end up on top. That is always what will happen.
Because everything that EY does is by design, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I agree. I think no matter what happens, yeah, you're right. I think EY will always be the man that comes out on top. But it's going to be interesting to see how this one all pans out. Are we going to get the tag title match at No Surrender? No, I don't think so. I think this is the one that's going to be building to Rebellion. I think personally, that's my thoughts.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's what else can they do for No Surrender?
Yeah, because it'll be we don't know how long the Gorillas of Destiny are going to be there. So if they keep the Good Brothers without a title match even through till March, then that's 2 months of the year gone with nothing from the Good Brothers. So they needed to defend them this month or have them knocked off because they're not defending the titles, and that's what usually happens. You don't defend your title for over a month, it gets stripped off of you. And we don't want a Good Brothers Gate scandal, do we?
Oh God, no!
Otherwise, you're getting into Brock Lesnar territory here with the Good Brothers.
Yeah, oh, God, no! Nobody wants that, do they?
No.
We definitely don't want that. And I'll tell you what, though, how cool was it to see Blake Christian return last week on BTI? It may have been a losing. On the losing end to Laredo Kid, but it was great to see Blake return. And with the promo that I think was released on social media like the following day, it looks like Blake is staying for a little while. What were your thoughts on this, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, I was really surprised that we didn't have Blake stick around last year, because it was about a year ago he was here, wasn't it? With the Super X Cup. So I was really surprised that he didn't stick around this time last year. And yeah, it's all made for him to kind of kick on this time. And that was a hell of a match that he had. it was with Laredo Kid, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
He keeps having matches like that. The X division is really gonna
It's going to be on fire, isn't it? It's going to be on fire. I mean, it's nice to see Laredo Kid starting
and he
to
can cut a
string
good
a few.
promo too.
He can, but it's good to see Laredo Kid also starting to string a few wins together with that win over Chris Bay as well the previous week.
I think we could have our next challenger for Trey.
Do you think what Laredo Kid? Followed by Blake Christian or Christian Blake?
Yeah, whatever way round we want to say
it. Whichever way.
You guys know what we mean. Everyone's just crossing my path a bit too much.
Exactly. What I found interesting actually was in the commentary on that BTI match. One of them kept calling him Christian, and the other one kept calling him Blake. Do you remember that? Did you notice that or not?
I've not seen the match yet, but I can imagine them doing that to try and avoid confusion, like we're having here right now, and like we had last week when we were discussing this match as well. I can remember the massive cock up then, and then everyone was. So yeah, I don't blame the commentary team for splitting it up. I saw I saw his promo he gave after the match, and he said that things didn't work out where he went elsewhere last year, but he's back in Impact Wrestling, and he's definitely in here for the short term. Most likely a paper appearance contract, but I think we could see him signing in for a longer term, but come the end of the year if he's around more than 6 months or so.
I think so too. And I think this is a trial again, isn't it?
His match with Ace Austin he had at the Super X Cup was fantastic. So, and anyone who could listen out to Ace Austin and put on a decent match out of the blue, deserves as much attention as they're going to get. And I think he's going to be one of these guys that stays. I think the X division is going to get a massive boost this year. And I think that the Knockouts division is getting a massive boost already. I think that's going to build up a lot more too.
Yeah, I think that we've got a lot to come in the next sort of 12 months from Impact. I think we're going to see that roster proper fill out with knockouts and obviously male talent as well. May even see a couple of tag teams coming in. But again, one of the main things that we've got here at Impact and what people seem to forget is that, with these kind of relationships that we've got building now, you can freshen up the roster just by bringing in a couple of tag teams from, AAA or New Japan. You bring in a couple of tag teams, all of a sudden, you've freshened up your roster for the next, 2 or 3 sets of tapings. So I think it's a great thing that we've got this opportunity to be able to do these things now. And of course, it doesn't, overinflate the budgets as well for all the individual promotions because they haven't got, huge contracts to be paying out constantly. So I think it's great the way things are going at the moment. On the downside, though, we have had a few more releases obviously come to light. We've just had Sam Beale on. Obviously, we know that Sam is no longer on the roster, unfortunately, but Hernan Daddy's disappeared. And of course, Falaba, which we talked about last week as well, disappearing off the roster page. And also we learned yesterday that the incredible Larry D or Lawrence Jones asked for his release as well. And he did make a statement that, it's something that he feels is, the right decision for him. He's loved his time at Impact, so there's no malice there. And of course, it's the right way to do it because at the end of the day, in the future, if they want you back, there's going to be no hesitation, is there? So it's always a good thing. Never burn your bridges, as they say, Austin Aries. Oh, did I say that? Oh, don't burn your bridges. What are your thoughts on all this? Like I said, I know it's sad to see these guys go, but look at the guys that we've got coming in as well. But that's I think how you got to look at it. What are your thoughts?
It's sad to see Falaba go, and it's sad to see Larry D go. Hernandez, I expected he would have gone after the way Johnny Swinger left him. I thought he'll be gone for a while now. Then we'll see what happens. But when Falaba was taken off the roster, that was quite shocking. I was out of the blue for me. Yeah. And Larry D, I wasn't surprised he asked for his release, but the way he's done it in a humble matter, like you said, he's not burnt bridges. He's been just open and honest with everybody about what's happened, so nobody can start making the shitstorm out of everything. But exactly. some of the guys we got coming in, they got Bahinder Gunjar coming in, and if you guys haven't seen him, he is indeed an Indian tank. He is fucking incredible. So you're in for a massive treat tomorrow when you guys see him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Can I just quickly say goodbye to Tom? Thanks for joining us in the live chat. I hope to see you again soon, buddy. Thank you for continuing to listen. And we do appreciate your thoughts on it being your favorite TNI show. Really appreciate that, mate. Okay, so that's all good. So what about you, Steve? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, you kind of feel a bit sort of sad that you're losing some talents that you had affection for. I was going to say affair for, but affection for. However, you look at the talents that are leaving, and besides Beale, I don't feel any of them were really offering too much to the current product. However, I feel Larry D could have offered something really great to the product if booked better. But you just never felt like Impact were going to go down that route, sadly.
No, COVID didn't help either.
Sorry?
The whole pandemic didn't help Larry D or AC Rivera either.
Yeah.
That messed up everything they had.
Yeah,
I agree, because they had a bit of momentum.
Yeah,
but they had a bit of
knew what
momentum,
to do with
didn't they?
Fowler. And they never really knew what to do with Hernandez when they brought him back. So yeah,
See, it's interesting you say that. So I don't think they misused Fowler at all. I think when you consider it, like in the 2 years he's been with the company, he's
more
been
than 2 years. He's been with the company since the GFW era.
So nearly 4 years, right?
Just over 4 years.
Right. Okay. And in that time, he's pretty much been on TV in some kind of storyline pretty much every week. Now, do I see Falaba as a top tier talent? No, I do see him as a mid card talent. But so the fact that he got TV time pretty much every single week would suggest to me that he was used pretty well. And he's very good at the, like you say, he's very good at the comedic stuff. And go on.
Sorry. To me, he felt like a person who was there to move other people on, not as a person who would be there to move himself on, sadly.
Yeah, possibly, but then you've got to have those. I mean, they're called journeymen in the business. They call them journeymen, and I maybe that is what Falaba is. Maybe he is a journeyman. I don't know, but I personally loved Fowler. I thought he was a great character. His in-ring ability was great. I loved the thing that he didn't do it so much towards the tail end of his run, but that I don't know, that thing where he sort of kind of rolled over you.
Yeah, the steamroller.
The steamroller thing. I thought that was fun. And of course, he always got the crowd going. The crowd loved him, and that was good. You get the crowd going and get everybody into it. He did a great job. But again, I guess if I was to look at the people that are coming in and look at the people that have gone out, it makes sense to me. You're not. You need to free up money, and B, you're going to get to a point where you're not actually giving them any TV time because you've got all these other guys.
Yeah, there's some other. Mia Yim is now officially a free agent as of midnight tonight.
That's correct. I'll get onto that in a second, Joe.
Sorry, I didn't mean to jump ahead. But can you imagine if she come back to Impact Wrestling along with Ty Valkyrie?
Yes, I think that would.
Those
be
are two that Gail
awesome.
Kim and Deanna Praza have called for, who they want to see back.
It would be amazing. Talking about knockouts, what we do have is is Mickie James obviously making history by appearing at number 20. We're talking about that in the WWE Royal Rumble, wearing her Knockouts Championship belt and coming out to, of course, the legendary Hardcore Country. Absolutely, fantastic moment for Impact Wrestling. Fantastic moment for Mickie James, again making history. I think she came out at number 20 because Impact is celebrating 20 years this year. I really believe that. I think that was a very cool thing to do. Again, although they didn't refer to her as the Knockouts champion, they referred to her as Impact Women's champion. So not quite the right title, but they were still acknowledging Impact Wrestling champ. They were, and the fact that she was the champion of Impact Wrestling. So I think that was great, and so many people even WWE fans, you saw online over the weekend saying that one of their favorite moments of the night was when Mickey came out, to take part in the Women's Royal Rumble, which is fantastic. What are your thoughts on all of this then, guys? Let's go with Steve on this one.
I've criticised WWE so much, and for, some of it rightly so. And I was worried going into this, mainly because I thought, she'll go in and get chucked out in 30 seconds. But I can't complain about this. She went in at number 20. She was in there, including her entrance, for about 15 minutes.
Yep.
And they booked her reasonably strong. Even her elimination, they focused on her. They played hardcore country. Yes, they announced her as the women's champion, but that's a nitpick. It doesn't bother me. I think it's a great moment.
Yeah, and her pop was huge.
It was
in the crowd. It was huge. What about you, Joe? Did you? I mean, I got to be honest with you. I am not. I will not give WWE any of my money. Right. So I didn't pay to see the Royal Rumble. What I did was I went online and I searched and found all the best highlights I possibly could.
There is absolutely garbage in here.
Exactly, absolute garbage. But yeah, no, I mean, Mickey came in. She had a good 15 minutes in the ring. She eliminated Michelle McCool. And I wasn't expecting her to eliminate anybody or anything like that. To be honest, I thought she'd only be in there for about 5 minutes. But they gave her, like you say, 15, 20 minutes of screen time. And she got to eliminate somebody and give out some badass punishment to a few people as well.
And add this, that there are other champions in the match, and it was only her and Charlotte Flair that came out with the belts.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's 100% true. So, kudos to WWE for that. Fantastic Scott D'Amore for probably making this happen. And Mickey, of course, making this happen. It's a big moment for the Impact faithful, the Impact Wrestling brand as a whole. And hopefully, who knows, we may start to see a few more people tuning in to Impact Wrestling after getting a little bit of a little bit of advertising, I guess. I totally agree with you, Mark. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Anyway, and what's interesting to say is that we've had a clear increase in interest for Impact Wrestling since Hard to Kill. With increasing ratings on Access TV pretty much every week. And last week, I believe it hit something like 183,000 on Access. So that's all good to see. I mean, just imagine how many people were watching on YouTube as well, or Impact Plus.
I really like Impact Wrestling.
Exactly. I think people like Impact Wrestling. So I have a feeling they could be hitting 300,000, if not more, every week. Every single week, I reckon they will. And eventually, we'll start seeing 250 on Access TV. And if they can get into more homes, then you're going to see that increase again. What are your thoughts, Steve, on all of this?
Yeah, you said it all. That it's slowly but surely it's raising, and it's if they can spread it further, then it's going to raise even further. So yeah, we're slowly but surely seeing those ratings rise, and hopefully they can continue that.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Joe? What are your thoughts?
Well, you've said pretty much all I need to say. The only real thing I can say is, as far as the TV and that, you put them a tweet out earlier about the social media stuff. You can find that on Impact Plus. You can find it on YouTube inside. That's perfect. So the only thing I have to say for TV is if in the UK is up to the guys in the UK to pull their fingers up their asses and get on board with the product. It's not Impact Wrestling. It's not putting it on the TV here. Yeah, it's the pop fault of the stuff guys in charge here. Not.
Yeah, I mean, let's face facts. Let's face the facts. So we've said this before. Okay, without any UK sort of kind of roster members, it's going to be hard to sell it to the UK, to a UK channel anyway, right? Because they're going to be like, well, what UK talents have you got? What's going to draw an audience? Okay, so because it is important. these things are important, and I do believe that over the coming months we are going to start seeing more and more UK based talents turn up. You know, we've already seen Giselle Shaw. Now, you know, she is a Welsh Canadian, right? So
Yeah.
she lives in Wales. So there's your first potential UK talent coming over. All right, she might be of Filipino descent or whatever, but she's a Welsh Canadian, right? So there's the start.
Imagine the heat if they go to England, you know, still with that Welsh.
There you go. Yeah. There is a, you know, there's a possibility that we could start seeing more and more come in. We all know the guys. We all know the ones I'd like to see turn up. But there you go.
Oh yeah, quite a few I'd like to see turn up too.
I would. I'd love to see some of the UK talents turn up on Impact Wrestling. I think they'd be fantastic. But you know, that's the way it goes. But there's no excuse for not being able to watch Impact. If you've got the internet, you can watch Impact Wrestling. It's as simple as that. Pull your fingers out of your ass, pull your thumbs out of your ass, and just, you know, get online, sign up to Impact Insiders. You can watch it every week from 1:30 in the morning, you know, whatever. Just stop going on and on and on about a TV deal. You know, what difference does it make? Every smart TV in the world has the YouTube app. That's all you need. You know, anyway, I could go on for hours ranting on this one. Anyway, we then move on to find that last week on Impact, Decay clearly saved Johnny Swinger from Jonah after their match. You know, now this is an interesting one because obviously we know that Hernandaddy's now gone, so we're not going to get Swinger and Hernandaddy. We're not going to get that. Are we now going to get? A Decay version of Johnny Swinger? What
I want my pizzles back.
Could we see a Decay version of Johnny Swinger? What do you think? Well, I'm going to go with Joe because I know he's a big Decay fan. What are your thoughts?
Oh, this could either make or break Decay, in my opinion. Just thinking about it now, it could either make if Johnny Swinger could reinvent his character and go really, really dark, or just a bit more twisted, that would be fine. But if it makes Decay too comedic, then it's going to break that up a bit more. Because at the moment, Decay's got the right balance between humor and the evil intention they're meant to be. And if they have a character like Johnny Swinger who's too more comedy focused on, then he's the guy that needs to change. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do to make this work. But I'm hoping it's just a short thing. I'm hoping it's going to be something like when Johnny Bravo got shot. Sam, that's not the camera. I'm hoping it's going to be something like when Johnny Bravo got shot, where it's just a very, very short-term story. And, you know, but Johnny Swinger is in Swinger's dungeon, of course, just thinking about it now. So could he have already been included to Decay? Maybe that's why he left Hernandez out to dry.
Well, you never know, maybe. What about you, Steve? What do you think?
It's a tricky one because personally, I think Swinger could be fantastic at in this position because we know the diversity in his acting ability. So he could play this role perfectly. The trouble is people will look at it and see Swinger in this role and think, Johnny Swinger? You know, the guy who was an absolute loony for 3 years, you know, so it's going to be hard to take someone like Johnny Swinger leading a faction like Decay seriously.
Maybe, but also it could show Johnny Swinger's versatility.
Oh yeah, no,
as before.
Swinger, don't get me wrong, Swinger could do it, but it's gonna be, if they went for it, it's gonna take a good year at least until people, I think, will be on board with it because they're so used to the Swinger that we've currently got.
Yeah, I agree. Zach Boniver's hit the nail on the head there, by the way, guys. It should be a new book, How to Use Smart TVs for Dummies. Yeah, exactly. I think it'd be
forward
interesting.
by the Bison.
Exactly. I think it'd be interesting to see. I'd like to see a Decay version of Johnny Swinger. I'm up for it.
I'd love it.
Yeah,
especially if they got the demon back here and there as well.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. I think critical thing. I think you're right, my friend. I think we're just sort of kind of like spitballing, really. The thought of Johnny Swinger actually becoming a member of Decay is probably quite slim. Exactly. I fucking love that soundbite. That's actually one of my favorite moments of Wrestle House 2 is definitely how they used Black Taurus. I thought it was brilliant. Okay, so that's that one. Huge amount of free agents are about to become available, including Mia Yim and Keith Lee. I've said on several occasions now that I think that Keith Lee will be the first, what you would class as like a big signing. The guy has been on the main roster of WWE. He's been on WWE movies. He's been the NXT, gold and blue champ. For me, he's a big name. Okay. So that also potentially brings the incredible Mia Yim with him. Of course, Blue or Jade. So who knows, who else could turn up with him. But I do believe that would be an amazing signing if Keith was signed Impact Wrestling. For me, he's the one. He's the one. What are your thoughts? Let's go with Steve on this. He might have something different to me.
I agree with you on Mia Yim, and I still think that they're going to head, especially in the first half of the year, more on the knockouts. I think they're still focused on that and building the knockouts division up. And I don't know, Impact still have this will go for talent who haven't had their chance to show what they've got. Keith Lee has had the ability to show, so they may think, everyone knows what you can do. They may well bring him in. My worry as well is, and don't take this the wrong way, but I worry that if he comes in, will that down card Willie Mack a little? Because
possibly, because I think
he was the big man in the X division, and you kind of now have Keith Lee that is now that big guy in the X division.
Yeah, possibly, but then at the end of the day, Keith Lee's got to put bums on seats. I think what the problem that we have here, as much as we love some of these guys on the Impact roster, we love them because we have seen these guys kind of like come up because we watch it every single week. So, we know how good Willie Mack is. We know, how good, these talents are. But Lee is, in my opinion, better than Willie, right? And he will put bums on seats. It's just a fact. And at the end of the day, it's a business, right? So from Impact's perspective, they need to put bums on seats. That's what, that's the whole thing at the end of the day. They need talents that have got some notoriety to then, obviously take them to that next level. So, that's what I'm saying. I don't get me wrong. I want to keep seeing Willie Mack. Don't get me wrong. I do, because I'm an Impact fan, but I understand exactly why Impact need talents like Keith Lee. But that's just my opinion. Obviously Mia Yim as well is another one. I'd love to see Mia Yim come in. There's your bonus. If Keith comes in, his wife's probably going to come with him.
Yeah.
And again,
another one I think we'll get is Ember Moon. I do think Impact will get her.
Yeah, Amber Moon would be great too. Yeah,
Mia Yim has been really, really bulking up Impact Wrestling since the anniversary of her match with Rosemary and the Monsters Ball just recently passed as well. Since then she's been talking about Impact Wrestling a lot more. She's been talking to Rosemary and Gail Kim a lot more on you can see it more on Twitter. So there's some investment there, and they're all propping each other up, especially going on about the match and her reaction to Mickie James in the Royal Rumble. She was really, really more putting over Impact Wrestling more than WWE there too.
Yeah, totally. So there's so many others as well. We just mentioned as well Amber Moon, Eva Marie, possibly. Is that the other one? Eva Marie is another top female talent. Maybe not. No. But there are quite a few out there that we could be looking at turning up at Impact Wrestling over the next sort of kind of month or so. Would be interesting to see. I hope so. But that said, talking about obviously things that happened on Impact last week, W. Morrissey basically destroying Brian Myers' learning tree of 11 wrestlers. Myers then strikes back at the end of the match and gets some help from Moose, to get Morrissey down. He then stands tall, holding the world title above him. There was some. That was some badass shit going on there.
You've stepped over the line now. You've taken it too far.
We know that the 11 wrestlers were clearly just, a load of Jackson down the road. But I think it was fantastic. And Gary, I'm all down with that. Savage Gently signing.
I think he's one that I really hope they do bring on.
Yeah,
I really do hope.
I agree with that. But yeah, it's interesting to see where this storyline is going to go. I mean, obviously, it looks like Myers is possibly working with Moose on this, which is, how that all sort of kind of panned out. It's about creating as many obstacles in the way of Morrissey as possible. I think that's what we're looking at here. But, where do we think it's going to go from here? I mean, it looks like we're going to get a Morrissey-Myers match at some point. Who knows? Can I just say a big welcome to Trent, by the way? I've just noticed Trent's turned up in the chat. Lovely to see you, brother. Lovely to see you, brother. Really is. So yeah, they're all joining in now. I think J Bone's in the chat. We've got Trent and Mark. If these guys are watching our show, what does that say? They're obviously taking notes. I think they must have obviously Sam was on, so they must be taking notes. For obviously
prep
for tomorrow night, I think.
Yeah.
Bam! Exactly. So there's some interesting stuff going on there. We've also got some BTI gaining some strong views. Over 100K on YouTube for the past few weeks for BTI. That's impressive. I mean, if you've got 100,000 people watching BTI, what does that tell you about the people that are actually watching Impact Wrestling online as well? So that it's interesting. If BTI is gaining that, you could say that you're getting at least 100K. Must be watching it on YouTube as well, following it possibly. Who knows? But I think it's a fantastic. I think last week was something like 135,000 people watched BTI on YouTube. I think that's pretty impressive.
It's fantastic news. And the last week's entire show was one of the highest rated episodes of the entire Axis era, and since Don Callis and Scott Moore took over. So that's just saying something. And this is a whole night that was really more promo heavy and just building up this week. And so hopefully this week will outdo last week, and this will be with some really fantastic matches on the table.
Well, we've got 7 matches over the entire night, so we got a few to talk about in a second.
Wow,
it's gonna be a big night of matches, that's for sure.
I only knew about 5.
Yeah. So we've got.
It does seem like they're doing a promo Impact, then a match Impact, then a promo. Sort of.
That's how it looks, doesn't it? It's how it sort of kind of feels. So you've got the Inspiration set to scheming as a rivalry between them, and the Influence ramps up after obviously the Madison and Caleb with a K match last week. There was a moment in the ring where Caleb and that's it. I don't know. Something was going on there, wasn't it? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's Caleb that turns. But there's definitely going to be a turn somewhere.
That's not an appropriate question.
Exactly. So, what are your thoughts on this going on with the Inspiration and of course the Influence at the moment?
Oh, I pissed my sides laughing at that whole match last week. Caleb did an absolutely amazing job, like Courtney Rush said he did. But I love this match so much. And Madison Rain just losing her shit because Caleb wasn't doing anything right or doing as she was told, and you can hear her screaming at the other end of the ring. And then after it all loses, she's in the middle of the ring, this massive tantrum. It just makes you wonder what is Janelle Dasher doing?
Exactly. What's going on?
Who really is to win? Is it Janelle Dasher, or is it Caleb with a K? Who really is? And then the Influence. That's right. The Inspiration gave a hilarious promo after the match as well. If you can find that on Twitter.
Funny.
I had to watch
funny.
it 2 or 3 times because the funny problem is they talk really fast, so you do miss a lot of what they're saying. So I had to watch like 2 or 3 times, but it was just so funny the way they've instantly slotted into Impact Wrestling and shown, like Lady Frost says, that this is the company that they needed to be in.
Yeah, I agree, and they've been showing their loyalty by turning down the Royal Rumble as well.
But their promo work is brilliant. If you're not entertained by the entrance or the matches, then their promo work is fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. And of course, we've got the Honor No More storyline, which seems to be cooking on gas right now with the match set for No Surrender, contracts on the line. Honor No More versus the Team Impact, and obviously, if Honor No More win, they get to stay on the Impact roster. Interesting stuff, and of course, we've got some matches to come in a second, which I think could be quite interesting. Sorry, excuse me, I've got a really itchy ear. Seconds. It's because you put these headphones on and your ears get so hot.
Oh, I know.
Don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's better. That's better. Yeah.
Look
so
at this dumbass.
Yeah, exactly. What are your thoughts on all of this Honor No More versus Impact stuff that's going on at the moment?
I'm loving it. It's a great way to keep Josh Alexander as one of the faces of the company too. You know, he's gone through Jonah and he's gone through all these other guys, and it's a great way to keep Josh Alexander out of the title picture, but still in the focus. But I think this does indeed now confirm that Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis and possibly I've forgotten who his tag team partner is now. He's also Matt Tavern.
Oh, he's great.
I think those 3 are definitely most likely signed with Impact Wrestling now. But the way Maria was carried the promo on a couple of weeks ago, just from just ripping into Ring of Honor, ripping into everything that happened last year. Part of me I also suspected EC3 and Adam Shear would be turning up when they had all 7 men in the ring, but when Willie Mack and Heath were out there too. But
yeah, that
would have been a really, really interesting turn of events if that had happened. But then Heath and Willie Mack missed the last set of tapings, so it's a five-man match. But part of me was really, really jumping, thinking we could see C3 and Adam Shear. This could be what they held him off for back then, back at Bound for Glory. And then, but
I have to say, I am really over the moon to see Matt Tavern. I have to say, Matt Tavern for me is awesome. I think Mike Bennett this is the best thing you could have done with Mike Bennett. He's proper on fire at the moment. I love the videos he's putting out. The motivational videos he's putting out on Twitter at the moment as well. So I think they're great. But I think it's great to see it. Maria's doing a great job. I think this is not the end of people coming in. I'm pretty certain we're going to see maybe Kenny King come in, or the likes of that. I'd love to see Kenny King come back.
I've got a name that that no one is really talking about, that I wonder if they could be involved.
Okay, go.
Chris Hero.
Yeah, I'd like to see that as well. The only problem is that we've been talking about the Rachel Ellering thing recently, and of course, Chris Hero is the partner of Rachel Ellering. I just kind of feel that if he was going to come in, it would have been by now, because she's been around for a while. And I know that he's been backstage.
We know partners don't always sort of mean anything, do we? I mean, look at the Inspiration. One of their partners is in AEW.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. I'm not saying it's the be all and end. What I'm saying is that Chris Hero is not signed anywhere else. He's not on AEW. He's not. He's obviously not at WWE. He's not signed with NWA. He's not anywhere else. So I just feel that if he was going to turn up, it would have been by now, because he's had perfect opportunity with Rachel being there. And I know that he's been backstage at Impact as well. So Scott has had perfect opportunity to talk to him. So, I don't know. I just think that I'm not sure. But who knows? I mean, it could happen. Obviously, I would imagine Savage Gent has been at backstage a few times as well with Lady Frost. Who knows?
I just don't want this group to get too big, because we saw that back in the days, back in the beginning days with when Hogan and Bischoff were doing that Immortal, to begin with, you had like 5 people, and then it got to like 20, and you're like, this is too big now. Hopefully, this Honor No More stays to like
Sort of
6,
5 or
maybe
6.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
What
it
you
gets-
have to think about at the moment, though, is there's 4 guys and 1 woman, right?
Yeah.
Now, Maria's not going to be in that match.
No.
So there's got to be at least 1 more guy coming in.
Yeah. Or what we
who's-
spoke with Josh Alexander, will it turn to a 4-on-4?
Maybe. Yeah, there's a possibility of that, isn't there? We just have to wait and see, I guess. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm loving it. I think it's a great story. I think the way that they've played this, the way the guys have been putting it over, the production of this, I think has worked really, really well. So I'm excited for it. For me, it's probably one of the most exciting things going on Impact at the moment. Yeah, there you go. Look, Immortal at one point is pretty much half the roster. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think the biggest faction had to have been Ace and H, surely. They were ridiculously big. But anyway, interestingly enough, with everything that's been going on recently, the buzz, I think, on Impact is now running wild. You've got Mickie James appearing at the Royal Rumble, new commentators, new stars arriving all the time, and of course, once again, it all started by an incredible hard to kill pay-per-view. I think the month of January has probably been one of the best months for Impact Wrestling since the Anthem era has begun. What do you think?
Definitely, it's been one of the best since the end of the Broken Hardys era. But really, since Dixie Carter and then Billy Corgan had thought they had control over everything. It's been fantastic. But of the Anthem era, it's definitely been one of the best of the Anthem era. Well, I've been so entertained by everything that Impact Wrestling has done over the past few years. It's really hard for me to just pick out one specific time that really stands out.
Yeah.
Good job, Scott. Good job.
It is a damn good job, Scott. You're doing an amazing job, my friend. And we're excited to see what's going to happen in February now, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's all ramping up, that's for sure. Now, of course, this week we had the digital media exclusive match, which was a Wrestling Revolver match between Madman Fulton and Ninja Mac. I'd like to see Ninja Mac turn up on Impact Wrestling. This guy is a fucking badass. So, yeah, make sure you go and check that match out. Very, very good match. I'm not going to tell you the winner, so go and check it out. We then move on to tomorrow night. We've got the BTI match. Which is going to be obviously Raj Singh versus Black Taurus. What are our thoughts on this match? Either way, I think it's going to be very good. But what are your thoughts on how this one is built up? Let's go with Joe.
Sorry, I missed the question. I got the dog biting me finger.
Okay. Steve, what about you, mate? What are your thoughts?
I'm honestly not sure how this match has come about.
I'm not 100% sure either.
Yeah,
I'm sure. I'll tell you who's going to let us know. Critical Sting's going to let us know how this one sort of kind of like came about. I'm going to say I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure there's been something which has led to this.
I'm very intrigued in because if I'm being brutally honest, I thought Raj was gonna just kind of fizzle away and they would just kind of use him as and when. But I'm really intrigued in what they're now going to do with Raj. They look like they're going to push him and they're going to make him into something. So I'm torn on this one because I feel both men need something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorry, Sting. We were just trying to figure out how the Raj Singh and Black Taurus match came about. We can't really remember anything. So if you can let us know, I'd appreciate it. But yeah, no, I think you're right. The thing is, both men need a win here.
Yeah.
Because obviously Raj got beat in his last match. Black Taurus, I think, got beat in his last match as well. So it's going to be who do they want to move forward in this? Who's going to be moving forward from a storyline perspective? Or could we see this match become a DQ and Burpinder Gujar get involved?
If I'm going to pick, I'm going to go with Taurus based on the results of matches later on.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, specific people will win or lose other matches.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Black Taurus is probably going to win this, and Bahinja Gujar is going to win his debut, obviously. So, but even if Raj Singh wins this match, it adds an extra statement that these two he's on the up, and it could be. I think this could be either a reinvention or a revival of the Desi Hit Squad or a completely new team, because Shira was mentioned last week too, when Raj Singh gave his promo. So Shira, he's either out with injury or he's just been released by Impact Wrestling, and that's how they've written him off.
I believe at the moment he's down at OVW, isn't he? That's where he sort of disappears down at OVW for a while and comes back.
And there's another couple of guys, free agents, that could very well come in that could be a new version of the Desi Hit Squad. I believe they were the Bollywood Boys or whatever.
Yeah. What's interesting here is that I don't know if you've noticed, but obviously they've started to bring in talents that are specific to certain nations. Because obviously, at the end of the day, Impact have got a massive following in India. They've now got, they've obviously got the Australian following as well. They're trying to cover that now. We've got Australians coming in. We've got a Russian talent now. I'm hoping we're probably going to get a male Russian talent at some point now to cater for that market. And this is what I'm saying. If they need to now look at catering for the UK market a little bit more. We need to start seeing some UK talents coming in as well. So there's clearly a strategy to make sure that they are covering all bases with all of their different markets that they're working within. So I think that's where we're going with this.
Even Critical Sting was stumped.
Yeah, we don't know where that's come from, but there you go. Can I just say a quick hello to Paul Nelson? Nice to see you, my friend. And you're right, Mark. Impact clearly is in a growth mindset right now. I bet you the UK tour is announced this year. I think it will be too. I'm betting on September time, so we just have to wait and see.
Well, for November, September, October, November will be perfect for me, especially November.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be around about that time. I just have a feeling. But we then go on to Impact Wrestling. Of course, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we've got 6 matches advertised. We're going to be a match-heavy episode tomorrow. So we've got the DMC title match, which is Jordan Grace versus Matt Cardona. Jordan winning this would be ridiculous, especially considering Matt was only a couple of weeks ago in a world title match. Matt's obviously going to win this and become the next DMC title, which is great because the guy's got 2.5 million followers on Facebook, on Twitter. It makes sense. He's got a big following, so it makes sense that he would be the digital media champion, definitely. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Matt Cardona would be an ideal champion. I think he's going to win this match, but if Jordan Grace does win now, it's not disappointment to me because she's been really, really ripping the hell out of Matt Cardona since he made the challenge, and all the stuff she's been doing online to help keep the championship and keep herself in the spotlight and relevant has been really, really interesting to watch. But I think Matt Cardona is going to get this, and this will help push Jordan Grace back towards the Knockouts title pops because we don't know where the hell Rachel Ellering is or if she's even coming back. So. Masha Slamovich is quite like Diana Perazzo, so we could see Masha Slamovich and Jordan Grace collide now too. And this is something I'm hoping to see.
Yeah, definitely. Now, that would be awesome, Mark, because I know Bill has also said he'd try and get over to a London taping as well, which would be really cool. It'd be great. We could have a TNI promotion reunion. It'd be really a meetup, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I think that would be real fun. Maybe we could do some podcasts together as well.
We could do a family pub crawl.
Exactly, family pub crawl. Yeah, there you go. That'd be cool. But there you go. Okay, so we then have the Jake Something, Ace Austin, Madman Fulton, Speedball Bailey versus the Bullet Club. Now that's an interesting one. Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing Bullet Club are going to win because they're not going to want them to lose straight off the bat on arriving, are they?
Well,
so
yeah, you've got one team and one team made up of 4 and 4 people who don't get on as well.
Are we going to see one of these individuals turn up in the Bullet Club? Could you imagine? Now I'm going to throw this one out here. There's been a lot of spec. No, let me finish. There's been a lot of speculation on what's going on with Jake Something at the moment. We know that he turned down VBD, but could you imagine Jake Something being enlisted into the Bullet Club?
That would be interesting, especially if we had him and Hikuleo together. They would be a pretty badass tag team. Anyone I was thinking they could go into the Bullet Club would have been Ace Austin, but that would have been like probably just a short term gimmick thing, just to for Ace Austin to then turn his back on them later on, and just to like give him a short run as a baby face afterwards. But Jake Something in the Bullet Club would be great. I'm looking forward to seeing this match because Mike Bailey and Jake Something are clearly they're the only like cohesive unit on Ace Austin's team. Ace Austin's trying to be friends with Mike Bailey, and we all know that's just to keep him out of Ace Austin's way. And there's even Jake Something was ripping into him last week over Eddie Edwards and Lasher Edwards. It's you can still see there's bad blood between them two and mistrust and everything. Anyone who's not had any input is Matt Van Fulton, but he never really does need any input. He just needs to just look at you and oh fuck, I'm in trouble.
That's true. That's
true. No, I can really see like Bay getting the pin on this and then setting up opening X Division match at No Surrender kind of thing with between 4 of them or something.
Yeah, definitely. But, so we then have Vincent versus Josh Alexander. Now, I think it's going to be an amazing match because Vincent is an incredible wrestler. Putting him in with Josh Alexander, who's also an incredible wrestler.
I love this match!
This is going to be contender for match of the night for me. This match and Gresham and Macklin, I think, is going to be contenders for match of the night. So, make sure you watch this one. Because I have a feeling this is going to be badass. What about you, Steve?
Yeah, this is. I mean, I've not seen too much of Vincent. I've seen a few of his matches, but I've not seen anything of him up with caliber of Josh Alexander. So this is going to be a hell of a match. I can see Josh going over here, considering Saban lost last week to keep the odds even. But yeah, it's not gonna. Considering last week was a full, I think Honor No More were out there, weren't they?
Yeah, they were still out there.
Yeah, but no, I this one, part of me feels like this is going to be a full kind of anything goes kind of match.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's going to be insane. So I'm excited for this one. I hope you guys in the chat are excited for this. I'm telling you now, this is definitely a one to watch. Right, make sure you check this one out. We then got the debuting Burpinder Gajur. Is it Gujar? I'm not sure.
Gujar, I think. Yeah.
Gujar.
Burpinder Gujar.
Burpinder Gujar. Okay.
Yeah.
Versus obviously recently signed John Skyler. I'm assuming that Burpinder's going to get a win here because they are clearly pushing him as a bit of a beast.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where this one goes as well. We've then got, which again I think is going to be the next potential contender for match of the night, which is Gresham versus Macklin. Macklin's been absolutely outstanding recently. And we all know how good Jonathan Gresham is. This is going to be an absolute barn burner of a match. What do you think on this one, Joe?
I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm thinking Steve Macklin might have the upper hand in this one, but then of course this just because the upper hand won't be because of he'll out wrestle Gresham. It'll be because he can use dirty tactics to win the match a lot easier.
Tag him with bag him.
Yeah. He'll probably get the win in this match, but I'm looking forward to seeing how Jonathan Gresham wrestles outside of his comfort zone a bit more. But Jonathan Gresham's been amazing. I'm so pleased we got to see him come on, and he's doing a fucking brilliant job. I'm assuming he's going to still be champion when Ring of Honor returns fully. So my eyes are honestly going to be on Ring of Honor again.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Steve?
As soon as I announced this match, my initial thought was Macklin's going to win this, and then they're going to set up the rubber match at No Surrender.
Yeah.
That was my initial thought, because the first match they had was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this match.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So I think you're right, actually. I think you might. Yeah, I think Macklin is going to get one over Aggression, and then they'll have no surrender. This no surrender sort of kind of like who's gonna be the best of three kind of thing. I agree, 100%. We then have most recently had added to the card Crazy Steve versus Jonah. Now, I'm assuming that this one sort of kind of came about with regards to what went down last week on Impact as Decay came out to save Johnny Swinger from the wrath of the big dog. What are your thoughts on this one? Is this going to be a squash or is Crazy? Yeah, is Crazy Steve going to give him a run? What do you think?
Crazy Steve's going to be glad he's blind because he's not going to see. I think this is going to be a pretty done and dusted dead match.
I love the runs.
Do you think that's what's going to be happening?
Yeah, I do, which is a shame because this will be the first time we've seen Crazy Steve all year, and so for him to come back just to be flattened by Jonah is a bit of a disappointing prediction to have. But then,
sorry, can I just say all year? It's only actually been 31 days.
Yeah, I know. It's still technically all. It's still calendar year, not. Oh fuck it! I don't know where I'm going.
They laughed, and they laughed, and they laughed, and they laughed.
You can't say he's not been in a match for a whole year. What are you talking about?
I meant the since 2022 started, not since.
Okay. So 31, hang on, 31, 30, 33 days then.
Yeah. Obviously, he's been in matches. Christ, I'm not that
tomorrow
blind.
Will be his first match in 33 days. Is that what you're saying?
I'm empty, but I'm not that blind.
I'm just joshing with you, mate. I'm just joshing with you.
I understood about half of that.
Calm down. But anyway, I think it's going to be a great match.
Yeah, well, we know Steve can bring it, can't we? So it's going to be. I think it'll be a good match.
I don't think it's going to be quite as squashy as people expect.
No. I am hoping 2022 brings more for the Decay than it has the last couple of years.
It's great to have him back, though, isn't it? How cool is it to have Decay just?
Oh yeah.
Just as soon as you hear that, you're like, oh, it's time to go.
But hopefully we see more of them towards like the tag titles than we've been seeing lately.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I don't think Rosemary, for instance, is ever going to win the Knockouts title again.
No, but yeah,
in the picture for that. But
I can't remember the last push that Steve and Tori's had towards.
No, and it would be nice to see. I think for me, I'd like to see Havoc and Rosemary back in the tag title picture again, personally.
Or even Steve back in the X division picture, because he doesn't really have much of a singles run anymore.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. Well, anyway, I think that pretty much rounds up today's show, guys. We've had a fantastic guest. We've talked about pretty much everything that's been going on this past week, and we've talked about what's going to happen tomorrow. Well, what we think might happen tomorrow. It's been a great show today, guys. I've really enjoyed it. It's been great having Sam on. But listen, guys, please don't forget to head over to the TNI Patreon for exclusive extra content when you sign up. And always make sure that you watch tomorrow night's TNI Flagship Impact live review directly after the show is aired on Twitch and YouTube. But don't forget, Mr. Sam Beale will be appearing once again on the review show tomorrow night. So make sure you don't miss that. And he has promised that he may make a bit of an entrance. So are we going to get this? Who knows? Who knows? Also, all TNI shows are also available for all you listen on the Go fans as audio only via SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, or wherever you listen to your favourite shows. Go and check us out. Where can we find you on the socials, Joe?
You can follow me on Twitter at Joe-ker You can jump onto WrestleBuddy and have jump onto their YouTube channel. I have a new podcast coming up for them at the end of the week. Rounding up the last month of Impact Wrestling. And you can jump onto Facebook, look for #EmptySpace, #TheVoid, or #DailyGiggle to come and test your sense of humor, but come in with an open mind and you just might keep your sanity.
Exactly. What about you, Steve? Where can we find you, bud?
In my house.
Well, other than in your house, where can everybody else find you that doesn't know where your house is?
You can find me over on Twitter at simplysteve311, or you can find me also at WrestleBuddy.com under the Impact Wrestling header for a new article every Thursday. So I'll have a new one coming out tomorrow.
Fantastic. And of course, based on what Steve said, you can find me every Wednesday evening in the Mandalorian cave at Casa de Bison. But if you want to find me on the socials, well, go and check me out on Twitter at LordBison45. Very, very quickly heading towards 1,500. I picked up about 10 this week, so very exciting times ahead. So come and check me out. Please take the time to help us out, though, moving up the rankings on YouTube by giving us a thumbs up. And if you're new to us and you like what you have seen, then don't forget to click the big red subscribe button. And don't forget to give the bell a tickle, a squeeze, or even a smash. To never miss any of the TNI UK and US teams' great content each and every week. And guys, I can't stress enough how important it is to give that bell or even give that thumbs up a little push. We need to get those thumbs up. That's the thing that gets us up on the on everyone's sort of kind of like feeds. The more thumbs up we get, the more people get to see our content. So I can't stress that enough. Please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget, if you want to support TNI financially, obviously, as well as giving us those lovely super stickers that all you guys do. So thanks very much for that. You can also head over to our Spreadshirt store for all of our customized gear. And of course, prowrestlingtees.com/total nonstop impact to get all the shirts you would ever need, including the fantastic Bison shirt that the lovely Violet was showing off and displaying for on Twitter the other day. So thank you for that, sweetheart. Huge thank you to our special guest, Sam Beale, for joining us today. What a legend. We cannot wait to see where the future takes you and hopefully see your return, glorious return to Impact Wrestling in the future. With all that said, I've been Bison. They have been the Joker, Simply Steve, and this has been episode 67 of Impacted. Take care, guys.